Hello everyone. This video is very important for me because it's something that I had to overcome, that I have to cope with, and I want to help all other people who move to Finland for studies, for work, to help them to integrate into the Finnish society better and to help them understand Finns better. Yeah, that's it. I would like to start with my own experience with Finland, probably say in a few words what I do there, and then just give you some tips, just give you some key points in the Finnish behavior that can seem strange, and what they actually mean in in the reality, so that it will be easier for you to adopt there. Now I'm studying at Young University of Applied Sciences. It is located in Jyväskylä. It is central Finland, and it's my second year here. So actually the next semester will be my fourth semester in Finland. And when I came to Finland last year, 2020, the first week was great because it's a new place, a new environment, new people, and it seems that everything will be great. And when you understand that everything is not so great as you expected, or everyone is not so open as you expected to be, then it becomes really hard. And I think I even have a video on my YouTube channel that where I spoke about a strange feeling inside myself, and I was very overwhelmed. I didn't have a good mood for a long time, and actually that was that period that fortunately it passed. I went through it. So yeah, after 1 week being in Finland, for 2-3 weeks I was out out of my brain, out of my mood. I cried without any reason for 2-3 weeks. I didn't know where I should go, what I should do. I had thoughts that, well, I went back home because I don't feel comfortable here. Of course, I didn't mean it seriously. I didn't want to come back home, but it was very, very hard. It was a hard period. I was very lost. And I don't know what to offend anyone in this video. Actually, it would be strange to think so, because I do this video so that people will better understand Finland and Finnish culture. But I had this moment that I even hated Finns. Like, it can sound very strange because I came to their country, but I was so overwhelmed with all the emotions and all the differences that I noticed that I actually hated the culture, and I thought that everyone also hated me because everyone was so silent, and for a long time we didn't even communicate with Finns a lot. And I also lived and live now with a Finnish girl, and I also thought that she hated me because we didn't communicate properly, and we sometimes didn't even say hello to each other. So it was a very hard period. But later, like a month passed, it was a little bit easier, and now it's already a year. And I just understood different points that I didn't understand before. I just understand that it is a culture. It is not about me. It is not about people hating me. It's not about me hating this culture at that point, at that time. I mean, it's just the way it works. It's just the way people live. And probably before coming to Finland, I underestimated these cultural differences, and I thought that, yeah, they would be approximately the same, and they are not the same at all. So I really want all other people who move to Finland to overcome this period successfully. I think it's impossible to avoid it. I think there will be always this period when it's hard, when you do not accept it at all. But when you probably when you hear from another person that, okay, they behave it this way, and you remember that they behave this way because of this and not because they hate you, for example, then it will be a little bit easier for you, and probably this process of adaptation will be faster for you. That's why I decided to make this video, because I really want to support everyone who moves to this country. There will be 5 tips, 5 key things in Finnish culture that I noticed and that differed considerably from the Russian culture, and when I communicated with other exchange students from other countries, European countries, they also said that this is something that actually is different. And here I would like to mention it, and I would like you, if you move to Finland or are planning to move to Finland, to keep these things in mind. The first one is get used to silence. Get used to not being too much talkative, because Finns are not. At the beginning, it was very strange for me because we could sit in a group for 3 people, 2 people. We could be at the same place with my neighbor, who is also a Finnish girl, as I said, and we kept silent. And for me, it was very strange. We didn't even smile to each other. We just sit and keep silent. So it was, for me, it was a signal like, they hate you, they don't want to talk with you. But actually, it doesn't work this way. It doesn't mean that they don't want to talk with you. It doesn't mean that they hate you. It doesn't mean that they are unfriendly. It just their culture. I've heard the stories that Finns do not even talk a lot with their best friends, and I know a guy who can come back home and doesn't even say hello to his best friend who's living with him. They are just used, I think, to talk about, to talk straight, to talk about important things, or even if these things are stupid, it will come from them. So they're not used, I think, to talk about the weather today is so nice, how are you, how's it going. There are no small talks, yeah, in Finland. I think mostly with most people. And actually, it took time, and I got used to it. I started even to appreciate the silence, because I was able to think about things that I need to think about now, to think about my own interests, to find out new things about myself, because I had this time. And when everyone around always speaks, it's hard. Because it annoys you, it irritates you, and it doesn't give you enough space, both physically and in your own head. The second, it mostly tip, do not behave yourself too open and too communicative at the street and in public transport, or in public places like shopping centers, etc. Because Finns are not used to it. It doesn't refer to everything, but I faced the situations when I tried to ask something from an old Finn. He was an adult, yeah, and he just got afraid, I think, or it was like protection, and he just said no, 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 and he just drove away. So for me, when I didn't know at that moment Finnish culture, I would be very disappointed. I would think that something is strange with me. But just give Finns their private space. They appreciate it. Do not sit with the Finn nearby the public transport when there is only one place nearby. Just give this, and do not ask too private questions when you are not sure that you are close enough with a Finn to ask this question. Either wait for signs from his or her side, or do not touch too private spheres. Ask more general questions. When you understand that he doesn't give you the answer that you expected back, then probably it's not time yet. Here, everything is about time and much effort, I think. The third thing, and it is very, very important, get used to keep distances. Even before the corona, there are so many jokes about it, that Finns kept distance not because it's corona, but because they are used to keep distance between each other. And at first it also was strange for me when I came to the shop and just a woman stayed nearby, but she waited actually when I will pick up, when I choose apples and then go further, and only then she came and started to choose the product herself. And it was strange for me because it seems like, oh, something is strange with me, but it is not again. Just keep distances. I'm very careful with hugs and fins because they really appreciate this private space and they do not even hug each other too often. So if you want to do it, if you have a lack of love from someone, lack of hugs, then it's probably always better to ask whether you can do it or not. Every time, even for example, when my neighbor gave me a gift for Christmas, I always ask her whether I can hug her, because in another way I feel like I'm intruding her private space. And it can be on the one hand strange. On the other hand, when I came back to Moscow, it was so hard for me because I got used to that everyone is rather far from me, that I have my private space physically, and here everyone is so close and we are so used to get to being touched by someone, even incidentally. So yeah, I started to appreciate it really, because it makes you feel more comfortable when you get used to it. At the beginning it's hard, then probably it will get easier, and at a certain point you will get used to it so much that it will be harder for you at your own country. And the last tip for today, it's actually it sums everything up. Just give time to Finns, just give time to Finnish culture, just give time for yourself. It's always hard to integrate to a new culture, and when it comes to Finns, you need a lot. They need a lot of time, and you need to put a lot of effort into the relationships that you try to build, so that you will get to the new level. You will become closer, and it is something that is very hard for me. I'm not a person who's always looking and searching for friends, but I think that I cannot put so much time and so much effort into one person or into more people, because it's too difficult for me, and I understand that I'm not sure that this is actually the person I will even continue communicating further, and I'm not ready to spend 1 year, for example, now to try to get his or her attention. Uh, yeah, and that's why I just gave Vince time, and I just gave myself time. And it's 1 year now, since even more, since we studied together, and it actually works. I communicate okay with all the Finns that I have in my group, and they, I think, also feel comfortable with me. We have even small talks. I'm pretty surprised. I even communicate with my neighbor. During the beginning of the semester, I thought that, okay, we have not pretty good relationships. But then in the end, when we talked a little bit, then we were talking for 2 or 3 hours, and I was very, very surprised that Finns can be so talkative. But yeah, so just give time. It's okay. They don't hate you. And when you feel pressure that this culture is actually very, very far from understanding for you, then just give yourself time. Do not start hating the culture. Try to be more critical and try to be more understanding, and try to understand that you came to this country, not they came to your country. So yeah, I think these are the most important things I wanted to mention. And yeah, it is very important for me that other people who come there feel a little bit more support than probably I had. And yeah, I just wish you good luck. I hope that you will cope with this period well. If you have any questions, feel free to write down in the comments, or if you need any kind of support mentally, or any kind of questions about Finnish culture, you can also write to me in Instagram. The link is in the profile here on YouTube. Yeah, I'm always open to your questions. I'm always happy to help. I wish you all the best, and yes, I hope that Finnish culture will be open to you, and one day you will understand it. Thank you for watching this video. Bye bye.